Today, I'll tell you about a mysterious discovery inside the Pyramid of Giza, one of history's most mysterious structures. Scientists discovered a hidden space within this structure that no one had ever noticed before. And they did this not with a metal detector or traditional excavation methods, but with invisible particles from the sky. These particles are called muons. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel to stay updated on similar videos on our channel, where we create engaging projects, discoveries, documentaries, and scientific content. Built approximately 4,500 years ago, around 2,500 BC, the Great Pyramid of Giza was built for the Pharaoh Khufu, known as Cheops in Greek sources. It is estimated that its construction took approximately 20 years and involved nearly 100,000 workers or artisans. At the time, the pyramid, at 146 meters high, was the tallest man-made structure in the world and held this title for 3,800 years. The pyramid is composed of millions of stone blocks. These stones, each weighing several tons, were placed with such precise geometry that even with today's technology, constructing them with the same precision would be a major feat of engineering. So, what was the purpose of this massive structure? According to ancient Egyptian belief, pharaohs were not only rulers, but also divine beings. They believed that after death, they would unite with the gods, and that their souls would exist eternally, accompanied by the life energy known as the Ka. The pyramids were designed as sacred structures to facilitate this transition. While the pharaoh's body was preserved in the burial chamber, the pyramidal shape served as a symbolic staircase for his soul to ascend to the heavens, the world of the gods. The pyramid shape represented the rays of the sun god Ra, and each face was designed to face directly toward the cardinal directions. The passages, chambers, and corridors within symbolized the pharaoh's journey after death. Therefore, any new chambers hidden within the pyramid may hold not only archaeological, but also religious and cultural significance. In 2015, with the approval of Egypt's Ministry of Antiquities, an international team launched an investigation they called ScanPyramids, or the Pyramid Scanning Project. The goal was to scan the pyramid's interior using modern technologies and identify voids that no one had ever seen before. One technique used was thermography, another was 3D laser scanning, and the other was muon tomography, imaging the pyramid's interior with subatomic particles called muons. So what are these mysterious muons? They actually rain down on us every second, from all over the universe. Approximately 10,000 muons fall per square meter every second, but only a tiny fraction of them are measurable. Their source is cosmic rays from deep space. When these rays hit our atmosphere, they interact with atoms in the air, creating new, high-energy particles. One of these is the muon. Muons are particles similar to electrons, but approximately 200 times heavier. They live for only 2.2 microseconds, but because they move close to the speed of light, they can reach the Earth's surface due to relativity. They move very quickly and, because they interact weakly with matter, they can pass through thick objects. Thousands of muons pass through our bodies, our homes, and underground every second, but we don't notice them. In other words, the universe is constantly sending us a natural scanning light. Scientists have developed special detector systems to use muons to image the interior of the pyramid. These systems generally consist of plastic scintillators and nuclear emulsion films. The operating principle is quite ingenious. When a muon passes through a detector, it leaves a very brief light or electrical signal. By measuring the direction and number of these signals, the angle from which the muons are coming and the difference in their intensity are determined. The ScanPyramids project used different types of detectors in collaboration with Nagoya University in Japan, a nuclear research institution in France, and Cairo University in Egypt. For example, nuclear emulsion film detectors act like photographic film, accumulating muon tracks over weeks, These films are then scanned and analyzed on a computer. This allows the distribution of muons lost or deflected as they pass through stone blocks to be calculated. Some detectors generate real-time data by directly reading the electronic data. When the obtained data is combined with the computer, a three-dimensional map of the pyramid's interior density can be generated. In other words, this technology works like a cosmic tomography device, using muon beams from the universe instead of X-rays, making what's behind the millennia-old stone walls visible. Scientists use these muons to create an X-ray image of the pyramid's interior. According to its working principle, if there's a dense area with stone blocks, some of the muons are absorbed, meaning they can't pass through. However, if there's a gap in that area, more muons pass through that area. This allows us to map density differences within the stone pile. In other words, muons illuminate the inside of the pyramid like invisible light. This method is similar to the X-ray procedures performed in hospitals. When you enter an X-ray machine, X-rays are beamed at you. Because these rays are extremely powerful, they penetrate your body. However, as they pass through tissues like flesh and bone, they lose energy differently, and as a result, you can see these differences on the X-ray. Of course, since there wasn't an X-ray machine large enough to image the inside of the pyramid, scientists used cosmic rays, or muons, as the X-ray source. A very exciting finding was announced in 2017 as a result of scans conducted using this method. Researchers discovered a large void approximately 30 meters long directly above the pyramid's main corridor, the Grand Gallery. Scientists have dubbed this area the Big Void. The exact purpose of this space remains unknown. Perhaps it's a structural relief void, or perhaps it's a truly undiscovered secret space. However, headlines like "Secret Room Found in Pyramid" swept the world at the time. A few years passed, and in 2023, another discovery was announced as part of the same project. This time, another void, approximately 9 meters long and 2 meters high, was discovered on the pyramid's north face, just behind the stone triangles known as chevrons. This structure was named the North Face Corridor. Using a small endoscopic camera, scientists were able to peer into this void. The interior was composed of finely cut stones, but no treasure, inscriptions, or sarcophagi were found. This corridor is currently thought to be an engineering void designed to relieve the pressure on the pyramid's entrance. The Big Void, identified by muon detectors in 2017, is located at the heart of the pyramid, directly above the Grand Gallery. This gallery is a long, high corridor extending from the Queen's Chamber to the King's Chamber. The discovered void is an almost identical extension of this corridor, approximately 30 meters long and nearly as high as the fuselage of an airplane. Interestingly, this void is not directly accessible from any existing rooms or passages. In other words, there is no known path into it. This raises the question: is this space a symbolic passageway in the pharaoh's spiritual journey, or a completely hidden second gallery, or a yet-to-be-discovered burial chamber? Another detail that caught the researchers' attention is that this space is located exactly at the level of the relief chambers above the King's Chamber. This has led to two different interpretations. One group of scientists believes that this space had a structural function designed to distribute the weight of the stone blocks. However, other researchers argue that the architectural support chambers already existed, and therefore, this space could be another intentionally concealed space. Perhaps this hidden chamber was originally intended for a member of the pharaoh's family, but plans changed, leaving it empty. So far, no equipment other than a camera has been able to enter this space, but future access is planned using miniature robots or fiber optic systems. Perhaps this mysterious chamber holds a secret untouched for 4,500 years. Or perhaps the pharaoh's actual burial chamber is still there. The significance of these discoveries is not only archaeological but also scientific. Muon tomography can be used not only in pyramids, but also to examine the internal structure of volcanoes, test the security of nuclear waste facilities, and even detect illegal substances at customs. In other words, the technology used to unravel the secrets of an ancient structure can actually ensure the security of the modern world. Of course, these findings still leave many questions open. Is the large void in the pyramid truly a chamber or a structural space? Has the Pharaoh's shroud, the actual burial chamber, still not been found? Perhaps these voids were part of the engineering system of the time. Scientists are currently preparing to examine these areas in greater detail with new detectors and higher-resolution muon scans. In the future, small robots or fiber-optic cameras may provide direct access to these areas. Imagine, for 1,500 years ago, people built a monument reaching into the sky by stacking massive stones. Today, we are trying to unravel their secrets with one of the smallest particles in the universe. This is a perfect blend of both humanity's engineering history and the advancements of science. In conclusion, there are still unsolved mysteries within the pyramids. However, while headlines about hidden chambers and pyramids are intriguing, what we currently know is that there are indeed voids within these structures, but their function has not yet been definitively explained. Perhaps these voids will reveal more about the construction techniques of that period. Perhaps we are truly at the door to a chamber no one has yet reached. So what do you think? Are these voids solely for engineering purposes, or are they truly hidden chambers hiding the secrets of the past? Share your thoughts in the comments, and let's discuss them together. If you find stories like these, where scientific discoveries merge with history and archaeology, interesting, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. In the next video, we'll continue to examine the shadows of history through the light of science. See you